Good afternoon. I'd like to welcome everybody to this week's Impact Wrestling Press Pass podcast. This is Ross Foreman. And first, let me open up his phone line, Josh Matthews. Josh, good afternoon.
Hello, Ross. How are you?
Always good talking to you.
Well, I wish I could say the same, but I would be lying if I did that.
Yeah, we don't want you live, but we want you to bring us up to speed. What's the latest in Josh Matthews' world?
Well, let me just start by saying thank you to Busted Open Radio earlier this week. I was able to join Busted Open with Bully Ray and Dave LaGreca on Monday, talk to those guys about Homecoming, which we'll get to in a second. And then last night I was able to be on Sam Roberts' podcast and talk about Homecoming as well. So thank you to both of those groups of individuals as we get ready for Homecoming on January 6th, live on pay-per-view in Nashville, Sunday, January 6th. VIP packages, of course, went on sale last week. Tickets went on sale this past Monday. We've reached our limit at VIPs, which is awesome. So a major thank you to everyone who purchased a VIP package. We swear that we're not going to disappoint. As a matter of fact, this might be the best VIP we've done to date if everything comes to fruition the way that we're hoping comes to fruition. So tickets are still available for Homecoming. You can get them at impactwrestling.com and join us in Nashville. Some great seats still available, but they're going quickly. And then, of course, we have tickets for the TV taping Impact Live on Monday, January 7th. Those are still available. Combo packages still available for both days if you want to join us in Nashville on the 6th and 7th of January. I'll quickly go through what we're going to see on the show tomorrow. The main event is Eli Drake versus Tommy Dreamer, and what is going to be a highly entertaining matchup. Jordynne Grace, who will be on this call, obviously, will face Katarina in a rematch. So we'll see if Katarina can bounce back or if Jordynne Grace is for real. We'll find out tomorrow night. We're going to take a special look at the World Championship match between Johnny Impact and Brian Cage for Homecoming, so you'll get an in-depth look at those two as they get ready to do battle for the World's Championship. Lucha Brothers versus Willie Mack and Rich Swann. This is a Dream Bookers fantasy match come true when you see these four square off on Thursday night. The debut of a team that I am buying a lot of stock in, that's the Rascals of Dez and Wentz and Trey Miguel. I think those guys are incredible, and you'll get an opportunity to see them in action Thursday night, tomorrow night on Impact. And, of course, Taya Valkyrie will be in action as she gets ready to face Tessa Blanchard for the Knockouts Championship in Nashville on January 6th. And that takes us to the end of Thursday. Then some of us will jump on airplanes on Friday morning and head to California. We'll be live on Twitch Friday night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern time, because we'll be in the West Coast, so it's 7:30 Pacific time for Gold Rush. Saturday is one night only back to Cali. I don't have an air date for that on GWN just yet. We were looking at December 21st, perhaps, for when Back to Cali will premiere on GWN. But those are our next two events in the month of, well, I guess to close out November and the 1st of December. There's some great new deals at shopimpact.com. DVDs, you can get what many people call the best pay-per-views of the year for any company in 2018. Redemption, BFG, and Slammiversary. Redemption, I believe, is available. The other two are available for pre-sale. Tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, I will be hosting Hang Time Trivia. So you got to download the Hang Time app, and for those of you that have been playing, we get more and more viewers, players, competitors every week. And what we've added now to the Hang store is tickets for Homecoming and tickets for the Impact television taping in January. So if you win Hang Time and you win prizes, you can use those points to get tickets for Impact shows, which is pretty cool in the Hang store. And I think, let's see, one more thing in December, that would be the Twitch show on the 14th. We'll be live, I believe, in Ohio. I'm 99% sure that's confirmed, but I'm waiting on some assets for that. Other than that, Ross, I think that gets us caught up on everything. We had a good weekend at WrestleCade, and we're looking forward to a great show this coming week. Oh, VIP packages are still available for Vegas. If you're near Las Vegas and you want to join us in February, VIP packages and join us in Sin City. Ross, you were in Sin City. You dressed like a goof.
Well, I did lose a bet, and
Oh no, I was just talking about your normal clothes. Not that.
Oh, okay. Well, that had nothing to do with the moose outfit I had to wear.
No. I didn't miss anything, did I?
How about December 10, 11?
December 10th and the 11th, Johnny Impact, and we'll be in Nashville for hitting up some media to get everyone aware of what's happening, obviously, with January and Homecoming. So Johnny is going to be at a famous bar on the 10th. It's called Santa's. It's one of the world's most famous dive bars. That'll be the 10th. I think popculture.com is going to join him on the 10th. We're working on the details for that. The 11th, Johnny's going to go to not Nissan Stadium. He's going to go to Bridgestone, where the Preds play, and he's going to be on ESPN Radio 105 The Game. He's going to be on NBC. He's going to talk to the Tennessean. We're working on a few other things. He'll be on a lot of radio and TV to get everyone aware of Homecoming. If you're not aware, you will be aware in the next couple of weeks for Homecoming. We're looking forward to being there in Nashville at the fairgrounds and in January. So a lot of things happening. Now, Ross, did I get everything?
Yes, you did. You're spot on, as always.
Yeah, that's right. I've been on the phone literally all day, Ross, all day, since like 6 o'clock this morning.
That's why you're the man at Impact Wrestling. We give you full props on that. I want to, I don't even know. I'm delirious at this point. Delirious, I say. But that has nothing to do with Impact Wrestling. That's just a fact, right?
I mean, it's just, it's great. You know, we have so much going on. We have so much happening. I think, do you want me to answer some questions before we open up to our guests? Do you think that anyone has any? Maybe Raj wants to know when we're coming back to India.
Well, we don't even need to have him chime in. We know he's going to ask a question.
You want to do that part first, and then bring in our guests?
Sure. Let's see. Anybody has questions for Josh Matthews? Just Josh at this point. *6 to get in queue, and we will.
Because I texted you, Ross, early this morning, and I still haven't heard back from you.
Josh, you text me a statement. There was no question mark. So what do you want me to reply? Thank you. Congratulations. You're amazing. What else do you want me to say?
We do need to talk when this call's over, though.
Oh, we sure do. That we do.
Yeah. Yes. Let's get some questions going, man. I'm excited. And Jordynne Grace is in the UK. She probably wants to go to bed. She's probably thinking, what am I doing? I'm just waiting around to answer questions.
And what about Ethan Page? We got him, too.
Well, I know, but I don't think Ethan Page is in the UK. I think it's.
But he's in Canada, so that's basically a whole nother world.
I think I'm pretty close to. I mean, I'm like less than 2 hours from Canada, where I live now. I see snow on the ground. I wonder if Ethan Page likes the snow or not. You think he's a skier?
I would guarantee he loves the snow. I bet you he's ready. He goes skating outside in the winter.
Did you open his mic?
Hold on. Let me see. Let's see.
He probably hung up. He
would never hang up. He'd hang up on you, not on me. Ethan.
Yeah.
Ethan Page, welcome to the Press Pass Podcast. How you doing?
Excited.
Oh, I'm doing great. Giving away false facts of Ethan Page, saying I love snow and I know how to ski. Both are false. I'm the worst Canadian that currently still resides in Canada. Never watched a game of hockey. Can't skate. Don't like skiing. Don't like snow. So
yeah. Ethan, you're from Hamilton, right?
That's right.
Okay. So you for real, you don't like you like American football?
No, I don't like any sports whatsoever other than professional wrestling.
Seriously?
Yeah, I'm not joking. Like, I don't own a jersey for any sport whatsoever. Like, before wrestling, I did martial arts. So, like, I have my black belt in Taekwondo and karate. But, like, other than that, I maybe played soccer and high school football just so I could date hot girls. And then after that, I was out of everything, just pro wrestling.
Okay, I can appreciate that. I think, Ross, I think that you wrote and you should open up her mic too, that Jordynne Grace has been wrestling since she was like a teenager.
Jordynne Grace, good afternoon or good evening, wherever you might be in the world.
Hey, what's up?
How are you?
In the UK?
Yeah, I'm in the UK. I'm in Preston.
What time is it there?
You know, it's only 7 p.m., but 8 p.m. is my bedtime, so it's getting up there.
Do you like the food in the UK or no?
No.
Yeah, nobody does. Simon right now is feverishly typing me a message on Slack going, Josh, you can't say that stuff.
Is there any chance if you see a UK flag, though, what is it, the Union Jack? I need one of those flags. If you happen to see one, grab it for me, would you, Jordynne?
Just get you a full flag?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
we'll talk about it afterwards. But if you see one, let me know.
I'll keep my eyes peeled.
All righty.
So, Ross, I thought as we were waiting for questions to come in, I thought this was a great idea that you had to do sort of a, I don't want to call it a Rising Stars edition of Press Pass, but, two newer people on the roster to sort of get to know their personalities, to talk to them a little bit, to have them answer questions from the media. Ethan Page doesn't like sports. Jordynne doesn't like food from the UK, so we're already learning new things.
Jordynne, what are you eating over there if you don't like the main culinary cuisine they offer?
Chicken, and that's it. Just chicken the entire time.
Oh, you got to go to the kebab shops.
Yeah, that's where I've been going. Just getting grilled chicken from the Peri Peri shop.
The best. Yeah, bring some doner meat home.
Some what?
Doner meat? It's lamb.
Oh, no, I'm not doing that.
Oh, man.
Just so you guys know, I'm getting charged 50 cents a minute to be on this call.
Whoa, hey, you just build that back to Ross Foreman, care of Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, okay, so Josh, I need your credit card when we get off this call, and I will take care of that for you, Jordynne.
Well, you can't pay for it yourself. You just signed a lucrative deal with Impact Wrestling. What's the matter with you?
I mean, I could, but it's supposed to be some expenses paid, right?
Well, again, let's see. We'll go to *6 if you have.
Q&A session has started. To ask your question, please press *6.
Yell at me on her 50 cent per minute charge.
Yeah, I didn't hear any of that because it just, the voice was talking over you.
Media, as always, if you please identify yourself and your media outlet when you ask a question.
Hey, this is the Yeti from the Irish Rip Podcast, exclusive on WrestlingNewsSource.com. This is Jordynne. How are you, Jordynne?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Hey, earlier Josh had spoke about your upcoming match with Katarina and stated that after this match, we would actually see if Jordynne Grace is for real. Do you agree with Josh that this match will define kind of your reality as Impact as you make your?
Well, I'll tell you this. I'm definitely for real. Kat is cunning and she's deceitful, as everybody probably already knows it. And my plan is to just stay one step ahead of her all the time.
Awesome. Thank you, Jordynne.
Sure.
Hey, Jordynne, this is Jeff from the High Spot Podcast and highspotpodcast.com. I just want to, first of all, congratulate you for, signing with Impact Wrestling. Do you feel it's a long time coming here, signing with a major company, or do you think your patience has paid off finally?
I think a little bit of both, but I think my patience has finally paid off. I feel like I've been doing this forever, and I feel like I gave up a lot of my childhood to wrestle, and so now that, I'm finally with a company that's on television, and I'm getting a little bit of that exposure that I've wanted for a long time, that I'm really grateful, and I'm glad that I just kept doing it, even though there was a million times that I wanted to just quit and go back to college or, go to school dance or something like that.
So, Ethan, we'll ask you is kind of a similar question. Your thoughts of jumping into the fray here in Impact?
For me, I've been wrestling for like 12 years. The biggest step for me was just breaking out of Canada, because it's an international country, but people forget that because it's so close to America. So I had to climb out of that gutter into the States, then build my name there, and then finally make it to a big company like Impact. So for me, it's a long time coming, and I'm not looking to waste the opportunity.
Hey, this is Riju from Sportskira. First off, Josh, are you coming to India?
Yeah, Reese, we'll be there at the end of the week. Can you pick us up at the airport, please?
Absolutely. I will see you at the airport.
Great.
Okay, my question is, the hottest news on the internet right now is that Impact Wrestling is looking for a new network. Is it possible to shed some light on the situation?
No, I think the best thing to do is let's all find out together what's going to happen. I think that while that's happening, and we all have been following that, that we all know that Impact is going to be around, and that was always the issue back in the day, was that was it going to survive? And I think we're all past that and know that we will be around, and it's an exciting time. So we'll all sort of, find out together what the future holds.
Thank you. And a quick follow-up. Will Homecoming be an annual pay-per-view or will it be like Redemption, which was like a one and done other than Slammiversary and Bound for Glory?
I think the name, I'm not sure about the name, but I think locations like, Nashville, we just had a call about this a minute ago. Where we're going to be, it might be better, that we'll be in Nashville more than just this time. I know that we're going to go back to New York, and know that we want to go to different cities and sort of have that roadmap. I spent over a decade in WWE, and it was the same calendar. In January we were in the West Coast. November we were in the UK. It was always the same sort of deal. I think in a perfect world, Impact does something like that, where you're going to get us in Nashville, you're going to get us in New York, Windsor, Toronto, that sort of deal. So that would be my guess, an educated guess, other than names of pay-per-views, locations to stay the same.
Thank you very much.
Hi, this is Nick Hausman from Wrestling Inc. Thanks so much for taking the time today, guys. I will start with Jordynne. Jordynne, you and Tessa Blanchard really seem like great cornerstones for the Impact Knockouts division right now. But there's also Scarlett Bordeaux walking around, strutting around, presenting herself like the Smoke Show and stuff, very different than the way you and Tessa carry yourself. Do you think a throwback character like her belongs in the same division as you and Tessa?
I definitely do, because there has to be something for everybody, right? And I still think there's some gentlemen out there that unfortunately watch wrestling just to see, kind of what Scarlett embodies, I guess. And there's also men that really love to see incredible athletes like me and Tessa Blanchard. So I think definitely there's a place for her there.
And Josh, while I got you here as well, there's been reports that you guys are looking for a different television outlet after the Pop TV time change. Do you want to comment on all if you guys are looking to switch networks or have any had conversations?
No, Nick, I just did with Raj there. I think we'll all just find out together what the future holds. But I think it's an exciting time for all of us. I'm sorry, I was muted. If I'm being honest, I'm eating my lunch. But I think it's an exciting time for everybody, and we'll look forward to these announcements and what the future looks like together.
All right, cool. Thanks, guys.
Hey, Josh, what's for lunch?
What, Ross?
What's for lunch?
My wife got us, what is that, Qdoba? Qdoba. You like Qdoba, Ross?
I do, yeah.
This podcast is not brought to you by Qdoba, but it could be if Qdoba plays their cards right.
Hi, this is Bill Pritchard from WrestleZone. And I had a question for Josh. I just wanted to get your thoughts about last week's viewership totals for the Thanksgiving show, if it was encouraging at all that you had the total go up.
I thought it's funny. When I looked at it yesterday in the morning and saw it was 124, it made me laugh because you can't predict these ratings, these overnights. They're so unpredictable, and that's why I don't put a whole lot of stock into overnight ratings like I do with +3s and +5s. So, like I told somebody yesterday, I'll look at it. I'm the first person that sees it. I'm waiting for it at 4:45 every Friday. I knew it was going to be out yesterday morning, so I was waiting for it at 8 a.m. But while I do that, I still know at the end of the day it's not a huge factor, and it's so hard to predict. We were looking at the show that airs this Thursday with Eli and Tommy main eventing, and, okay, maybe we can get to this number, and then we surpass that with the Thanksgiving show. That maybe we should just do the Thanksgiving, the gravy train turkey trot every week, because maybe that was the determining factor into what caused the increase. And I say that in joking. It's just such a hard thing to predict that overnight.
Thank you.
Hey, Josh, why didn't you come to my defense when Mike Johnson said I should be wearing the turkey suit?
Because Mike Johnson's a very credible reporter, and I like Mike, and we're friends, and I like him more than I like you.
Okay, let's just move on to the next question.
Hey, Riju from Soskira again. This is a question for Ethan. How did the whole idea of pairing you with Matt Seidel come about?
I don't know if it came about so much as I was the closest wrestler to the phone and answered quick enough to fill in for a spot. And that's kind of like the nature of the beast for professional wrestling is not everything happens the way it's supposed to, and great things kind of fall in people's laps. And I don't think we predicted Matt and I to work so well together and for the character to be presented as well on TV. So it worked out in the end. But honestly, it was not originally planned like that.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Jordynne, Ethan, it's Josh here from the I Worship podcast on WrestlingNewsSource.com. Hey, this is for both of you, and I'm kind of interested to see which way you guys can answer this. But do you guys see yourself as role models at this time, especially with as much exposure as you get with social media, traveling the world and being on TV now?
Jordan, you want to go
You can
first?
take that first. No, you can take it.
Sure. Yeah, I always look to people that I idolize for the way that they've affected me when I was in a position of like extreme fandom, and I try and portray that as best as I can. As my career grows and my brand grows, and I have gained more influence on my viewers, so I try not to swear online. I try not to swear in my promos. It's like very corny and cliche things. I try and be an upstanding human being outside of the ring, and that's another reason why I've loved that I've been able to get involved in these VIP packages. So I get to actually interact with the people that are in the crowds and kind of get their feel for what they think of Ethan Page and Impact, and continue to grow as a role model and performer.
Cool.
So, yes, I'll go ahead and answer now. Basically, I really try to be as role model-y, I guess, as possible, both inside and outside of the ring. Like, online, I guess, I've kind of gotten a little popular just with my DMs of a Female Indie Wrestler book and stuff like that. But I really try and promote body positivity and being eco-friendly and all that kind of stuff. And I try my best to be a good role model.
Thank you guys for that.
No problem.
Jordan, we're going to follow that up with a question that came in from Mike Graham. There are not a lot of female power wrestlers in wrestling history. Were there any that were a distinct inspiration for you?
Yeah, Beth Phoenix is the first one that comes to mind, and she's someone that I've loved since I was 10, 11 years old, and who I watched her grow up and who I always wanted to be like. And, it's funny, she actually just followed me on Twitter recently, and so I screenshotted that and sent it to my mom because I thought that was really, really cool.
Ethan, we got a question for you from Jesse Reynolds. He wants to know, Ethan, you're known as a strong talker. Who were some of the people that helped you develop your promo style?
First one is, not personally helped me, although it would have been great. The Rock. I was a big fan of his. Jake the Snake is another one. But honestly, just a piece of advice that I got when I first started professional wrestling was the best characters and gimmicks are just yourself with the volume turned up, and the best promos are just genuine conversations. So technically I'm doing a wrestling promo right now. As long as it sounds right and I'm getting my point across, then technically I'm doing my job.
Hi, Ryan Bowman from thegorillaposition.com. Jordynne, you got a huge reaction during your debut, and it got a tremendous buzz online. First off, how'd that make you feel personally? And even though you're a veteran of the business, did it give you a big confidence boost being accepted right in the door like that?
Oh, it gave me a huge confidence boost. You have no idea, because when you go out there, you don't know if anybody's going to know you. You don't know what people's reaction is going to be. So when I got that reaction, I was just ecstatic, and it made me incredibly happy. What was your first question? I already forgot it.
Oh, I just, again, if it gave you confidence and how it made you feel personally. I know that a lot of times that when someone comes new into a company, just as you were saying, it seems like the Impact audience were almost anticipating your arrival.
Yeah, it definitely sort of seemed like that. I know it was pretty hush-hush about my debut for months, and when I finally debuted, it definitely seemed like they almost expected me.
Thank you very much.
We're going to take a question from King Tong, who would like to know, actually for three of you, all three of you being Jordynne, Ethan, and Josh, who would be your dream opponent in Impact Wrestling? Ethan, why don't you take that one first?
Right now, currently, it would be Johnny Impact. One, because he unceremoniously dove on me on the outside when we were in Vegas, and that was not fun at all, so I owe him a receipt, and he's the champ, so if my goal is not to face the champ, then really what am I doing?
Jordynne?
Kind of the same answer that Ethan had. It's Tessa. I think we just absolutely just kill it, first of all. I've wrestled her 2 times before, and I think she's one of the best wrestlers in the world, and I'd really like to see that strap around my waist one day.
What about you, Josh?
I'm not sure why that question's being directed at me. I guess
you have a great swanton bomb.
No, I don't. Ross, I don't have an. We're going to see some dream matches, Ross, at Homecoming. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
All right. Well, I'm sure King Tong will appreciate your answer and your honesty there.
King Tong.
This one's for both Ethan and Jordynne. You all both wrestle styles that are, I don't want to say a little bit unconventional, but I mean, for Jordynne, not a lot of women work like you, and for Ethan, you're a rather agile guy for your frame. And what steps do each of you take to kind of perfect that and go above and beyond in training?
So basically, a lot of my moves, most of my moves, 90% of my moves, are power-based. And so I spend a lot of the time a lot of my time out of the ring, trying to just get as strong as I possibly can to be able to perform those moves. So that's one of the main things. I lift super heavy in the gym and try and get as strong as possible so that I'm able to do those moves safely and effectively.
And for me, I'm 6'2", 200 and roughly 60 pounds. I have to compete with the hybrid athlete of 2018 that is under 6 foot and under 200 pounds, and they can do anything and everything under the sun acrobatically. So I just try and use my size to wow people with the dangerously athletic things I can pull off. Trust me, if it was up to me and I could do DDTs and rock bottoms all day, I would. and I would love every second of it because that's pro wrestling to me. But it's the way wrestling has been kind of transformed, and if you want to stay here, you got to evolve with it.
Also, to follow up with Josh and King Tong's question, once upon a time, Josh told me he was pegged for the original X Division and maybe even the X Division title. So I'm confused as to why he wrote himself off so quick.
That is true, and the story is well told that the powers that be at then TNA ripped up my contract and let me go and do what I did for 13 years, and so we've come full circle. And the return of the Ultimate X at Homecoming and that match, it's going to take place. It's going to be very special for a lot of people. So I'm looking forward to seeing that one for sure. And the X Division Championship does hold a special place in my heart for sure.
Thank you.
Ethan, we got a question here from Spencer S40. He would like to know, do you feel any added pressure being a young Canadian working for a Canada-based company?
Oh, man. That's a pretty good question. Yes, I do, in a sense that I kind of represent the country, but there is a lot of Canadians, not a lot, but there's a few Canadians on the roster and people that have actually crossed paths with a lot. So I'm not in this Canadian flag-waving competition by myself. But yeah, I am proud that I'm from Canada. I'm proud that now Impact is based out of Canada. So it's actually pretty cool that when I signed my contract, I got to actually drive to the office and drop it off myself.
Hey, this is Josh from the Outship Podcast, the Wrestling News Source, and this is for Josh. Hey, Josh, I've been a fan since the Asylum years, and it's really amazing to me that you guys are bringing back specifically the X Division. How important of a role in the next coming years, especially with how much the women's division is just exploding in wrestling worldwide, how much more emphasis do you feel Impact will put on that X Division championship?
Well, I think that when you look at everything that's happened in 2018, thanks to LAX, I think it was the year of the tag team for Impact. And as it relates to the women, I think that this company has always put a email. Sorry, I'm playing with my headphones. You guys still hear me?
We can hear you, Josh.
Yeah. Sorry, I was messing with my AirPods and they took over the thing. So the women's division, I think, has always been thought of, first and foremost as well. And then the X Division, I mean, when you look at what Brian Cage did this year and he became X Division champion and people kind of questioned that, but it all leads to him relinquishing the title. We get Ultimate X back, at the pay-per-view. So I think that's, the beginning of seeing some amazing things. And then you have the guys like the Rascals who have burst onto the scene and they can do just about anything inside of a wrestling ring. I think that there is going to be a light shined on the X Division. And then you look at everything, Impact as a whole, the heavyweight division is where it is. The X Division is where it is. The female wrestlers are where they are. And the tag team division, it's just it's all coming together in a really special way, in a really unique time in wrestling where there's more choices than ever, more options than ever, and there are going to be more places than ever as the year starts to unfold.
And just to follow up on that, Josh, are you when you guys are grabbing talent like Jordynne, you're grabbing talent like Ethan, two great character individuals. How much does that play when you guys are able to sign new talent?
I'm sorry, what was the end of that question? How much does that in play?
The end of that is when you guys acquire new talent, like you've got Jordynne and Ethan right now, how much does character play into that when you sign talent like this?
Well, I think a lot because there's so much leeway and impact with the characters, which is very cool for a performer that you have that leeway. And I'm not burying anybody or saying like, you show up to work and you get a script. It's just two different ways of doing something, right? And there is more leeway for characters like a Scarlett Bordeaux or a Rosemary or a Sue Young to express themselves a little bit more than they would have the chance to do that somewhere else. So as a performer, you get to learn and make mistakes and then talk to people that have been doing this for a real long time. And okay, well, you did this, maybe you do this, but it's not so stringent. And I think that's, a place where impact can shine and talent can really find themselves. I mean, Ethan Page was a hilarious part of a deal there with Joseph Park. And then now he gets to be Ethan Page on Impact. So he got to play a character role. Now he gets to be himself. And we're seeing the development and the emergence really of all of these people and the cliche that the cream rises to the top. And we're seeing that happen on Impact with different talents.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
A question here from Luke Richards, who gears this question for Jordynne. Jordynne, he'd like to know your thoughts on intergender matches, and then is there any male on the Impact roster who you'd like to face?
Well, anybody that knows me knows that I'm a huge advocate of intergender wrestling. I've wrestled Ethan Page twice for the heavyweight title at a company in Chicago. And I'm a huge advocate of intergender wrestling for anybody to do. As far as who I'd like to face on the Impact roster right now, let's see. Let me think of someone. I know he's brand new, but I think that me and Desmond Xavier would have like an amazing match, just because I'm all power moves and he just flips around like it's absolutely nothing. So that's someone I would love to wrestle. Johnny Impact would be something that would probably never happen, but that would also be incredibly awesome. So yeah.
Ethan, what's your take on intergender matches?
Honestly, I stopped really thinking of it as intergender wrestling once the talent level of female wrestlers has just exploded in the last couple of years. It's just like I'm either wrestling Jordynne Grace, or I'm wrestling Josh Alexander, or I'm wrestling Moose, or I'm wrestling. To me, it's like if you're good, you're good, and if you're going to get to the same level that I'm at, or if I'm going to get to the same level that you're at, to me, it's just a match.
Hi, Ryan Bowman from thegorillposition.com. This is for both Jordynne and Ethan. We've only got about a month of 2018 left. Have you guys given any thought to what your personal New Year's resolution is going to be?
Okay, can I start this?
Sure.
Yep.
Okay. Everybody is just giving up on the year before it's even done. Last month, I was already seeing people tweet out what their 2019 goals are, which blows my mind because there's still so much time left. And literally anything could happen. My career could change before the end of the year within the next 30 days. So, I'm going to wait until the night before the date changes over to make any goals or even think about 2019. I honestly just think that people get too caught up in the magic of the change of a number, when in reality, if you have a goal and you want to accomplish something, you could literally just start today.
I don't disagree with Ethan, but I think I'm the exact opposite. I think that the year changing is very symbolic of someone trying to be a new person if they want to be a new person. So as far as what my goal is, because I do love to plan ahead, and of course I have goals for the rest of this month, but also beginning in 2019, I have a few goals for myself as well. There's lifts that I'd love to increase the weight of, personal goals. I'd like to get out of debt completely. I have a ton of different resolutions that I'd like to achieve in 2019. And I think it's gonna take longer than a month to achieve some of them. So that's why I've set them for 2019.
Well,
Sorry,
good luck to you guys. I'm sorry. I was just going to say good luck for the rest of the year and beyond.
There you go. I was going to say, maybe I'm a little too woke for that question.
Yeah, you're too woke, Ethan. That's definitely what it is.
Yeah, it's that third eye. What are you talking about?
Thank you for your time today, guys.
Well, then, Ethan, I'm sure you have a strong opinion one way or the other on the pumpkin spice craze.
The what?
The pumpkin spice craze. Is it too long? Is there too much?
What is that? What is pumpkin spice? Oh, you mean like everyone talking about their Starbucks coffee or their muffins? Pumpkins don't even taste good. All it is cinnamon. It doesn't even make sense. Oh, wait, you're a pumpkin person?
I mean, I don't like it, but I still drink it.
I'm sorry, repeat that?
It's like a tradition I have that I have to go.
No.
Get the pumpkin spice latte, okay?
No, you just need to repeat what you said before.
No, I don't want to repeat it.
Because you sound dumb.
I mean, yeah, it does sound dumb, but you know what? It's just something I do personally that I like to do, okay?
Yeah, I don't like the taste, but I definitely still eat it.
I don't like broccoli, but I still eat that.
Yeah, I don't know if pumpkin spice muffins or lattes have the same digestive benefits as broccoli.
I think we'd probably all agree on that one, so we can move on from our pumpkin spice debate here.
What are you trying to do, Ross? You trying to stir me up?
Well, I figured you for sure. I didn't realize you had such strong opinions on New Year's resolutions. I figured you certainly would have something on pumpkin spice.
I'm like a day-to-day liver, and like that's the way I live my life. Like I don't know, like I'm a very in the moment kind of person. So like all of these over-the-top New Year's resolutioners or like life-changing this and life-changing that is like, if you're not going to do it right now, just stop wasting my time, and I'd rather have a conversation with someone else.
Okay, Ethan, we'll just never have any future plans for anything, okay? How about that?
You can't predict the future. It's literally impossible unless you're psychic.
Okay, well, I guess you got to do everything that you've ever planned right now today.
Well, I'm getting off this phone. I'm going to Disneyland then.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Jeff Martin from Mindspot Podcast, mindspotpodcast.com. This question is for both of you guys. I know Josh kind of answered the whole character development and gives you guys a chance to, work on your characters and try new things. But how important was it for you guys when you were considering signing with Impact Wrestling that they gave you the chance to, be creative and not always have, a script given to you guys? How important is character development to you guys when you're going to sign with a company?
So for me, I want to say it wasn't that important because when I first started with Impact, I was not myself whatsoever, and I kind of was told that I was going to play a very cool and sexy lawyer. Then when I got there, it was the complete opposite, and I kind of just rolled with the punches. And honestly, I think a lot of wrestlers forget that it's not their show, and it's not their job to write the show. We are just kind of people that are there to play a part and beat people up. And I'm okay with someone telling me to wear a suit and act like a doofus. So I'm totally okay with that. And I'm okay with someone saying, hey, go out there and be yourself. And when those moments arise, that's when I can be more creative and show my true colors. But at the end of the day, I'm an employee of a company, and I'm there to do what they ask.
Pretty much the exact same answer. I don't think that it's played a huge part right now. I haven't had to play a character like Ethan has where he's doing something different like Chandler Parks. I haven't had to step out of my comfort zone too much. The only thing they're doing is they're taking the character that I've already had on the independent scene for so long and just kind of increasing the intensity of it tenfold. So that's the only thing that I've had to work on since I've been there. It's just being more intense than I already am.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Hi, this is Bill Pritchard from WrestleZone again. I had a question for Ethan, and I wanted to know, as somebody who's been so well known for promoting yourself as your own brand on the indie scene, have you faced any challenges since you came to Impact, since you've largely been seen in a tag team with Matt Sydal and, to an extent, Joseph Park?
It was a little tough with the Chandler Park character. I tried to almost play it off like I was an actor on a TV show playing a character, and when I would go to these independent shows, they were already shows that I've been working for the last couple of years and built my credibility up for them. So I would almost make side comments and jokes like, I play a character on TV, but tonight I'm gonna kick your butt or whatever. It's been a lot easier to kind of mix both worlds with what's going on right now. I actually really like the Matt Sydal character, and it's the over-the-top wokeness of the Third Eye. It's stuff that I'm into. It's like I'm deep into the Joe Rogan podcast and his whole band of misfits and stand-up comedians. So for me, it's fun to play, and it's stuff I'm actually interested in. So it's not hard at all.
All right, and since we spent so much time talking about food today and how bad of a Canadian you are, can you tell me your thoughts on Tim Hortons?
Oh, Tim Hortons is the best. It's the best.
Okay.
The donuts are great. The muffins are great. The breakfast sandwiches are great. That's why I'm 260 pounds doing a swanton bomb and not 200.
So they will let you stay in Canada.
Yeah. If I talk smack about Tim Hortons, they can revoke my Canadian passport. But no, I can't do that.
Thank you.
Ethan, you gonna side with Tim Hortons or Dunkin' Donuts?
Oh, Tim Hortons.
Jordynne?
For sure.
Between that and Dunkin' Donuts? Is that what you said?
Tim Hortons or Dunkin' Donuts?
Yeah, Tim Hortons. And I don't like
it
at all. But Starbucks above everything.
Okay, no, that's terrible. I can't believe you said that. But then again, you did say that you like literally drinking stuff you dislike the taste of. But what I will say is, comparing the two businesses, one is named after a specific food. So the donuts would be good, sure. The other is named after a person, and in my world, I assume that is a chef. So everything there is good.
Do you actually know who it is, though?
Tim Hortons.
Hello, this is Carlos from Indie Pro Wrestling, IndiePW.com. And this is just a general question for all you guys there. I know that there's talks about Impact Wrestling talking with 3 different TV networks. How important do you think it is starting off right now with Impact Wrestling on Pop, where there isn't so much of viewership, and then potentially crossing over to a TV station that has more reach? How do you think that's going to affect if you guys switch over with the viewership, and what's the long-term goal do you guys have for your guys' career with television presence?
You can go first.
Josh, you want to chime in?
I wasn't listening.
Carlos, you want to give us a quick recap, short? Josh has already touched on the TV situation twice already. Is there any other question you had?
I was emailing about a Twitch show. What's the question?
So yeah, basically the long story short is you guys don't have that much viewership with Pop. You guys are potentially talking with 3 different networks. How important do you think it would be to get your viewership presence on a grander scale, if you guys do sign a new deal?
Well, first of all, you have to, when you say we're not doing great on Pop, that comes with the caveat of being on at 10 o'clock at night, and that comes with a caveat of what tiers pop is on certain cable systems. I would say that 124,000 viewers, or even 100,000 viewers at 10 o'clock at night on Thursdays is impressive. And that our fans are finding. Anytime you switch times, the audience goes down for a little while, and they have to refine the show. And that part of your question made me so mad I don't even remember the other part. Sorry.
That's fine. Well, thank you for you guys' time then.
No, thank you, Carlos.
All right, well, we will wrap it up with that one. Ethan, we'll give you the floor first for a final thought.
Yeah, I have a question. I'm like terrible at dirt sheet stuff, and everyone's asking about these TV deals. The only question I have for you guys, let's pretend I'm like a reporter. Do TV ratings even count anymore with like app-based viewing and streaming and people TiVoing? Like, how does that work?
You're so woke.
Right? No, but I'm serious. Like, in reality, nobody's watching things as they, like, air.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, we could go on for a long time about that because I have a few favorite shows, and I have no idea what night of the week they're on. I couldn't tell you what night of the week they're on because I watch them when I want to, and that's why this whole ratings thing, and I had this conversation with somebody last night. In wrestling, it was the Monday Night Wars, and everyone would flock to see what the ratings are, and then it just continued in wrestling. Like, oh, we just look at the overnights. And, like, I don't know, as like a person who watches, like, a normal show, do you know what, like, the rating is for This Is Us every week or on NBC or any other show on the world, like what number they do each week? It's become absurd.
Okay, so I'm glad I'm not the only one that's like scratching his head about this.
Yeah. Ross hits me up every week. What's the rating? What's the number? What is it?
Yeah. Well, I'll just...
Ross.
No, I'll just say, take for instance, we've talked so much over the past, couple months about Survivor. I've watched every episode, see where Johnny's at and being eliminated. I don't watch that show live. I watch it on CBS.com.
Yeah, I'm telling you, and this isn't a knock on anything. The only appointment viewing that's left, you want to be appointment viewing, and we always want Impact to be appointment viewing, but live sports. That's football, college football. That's those are the stuff that you can't DVR proof. That's my take, Ross. That's it.
All right. Well, we appreciate that, and I would bet, other than Nick Hausman, who I know watches Survivor live because he texts me immediately after every episode, I'd wonder how many people actually watch that live, as opposed to on CBS.com or whatever other outlet they have. Jordynne, we'll give you the floor at this point for your final thought.
I don't know what to say. I love wrestling. It's awesome. I'm happy to be here.
Perfect. Josh, any final thoughts from you?
Or we're closing in on 1 hour, and that's a long time to do this. So I just want to thank everyone for all their questions. Carlos, I was half joking when I said I got mad at you. Don't miss Impact Thursday night, 10 o'clock on Pop. But if you do miss it, check it out on your DVR or any of the streaming services that Ethan Page mentioned. And we're getting ready for Homecoming. Get your tickets, and we'll see everyone in Nashville in January. Ross, I'll call you in a few minutes.
Perfect. Media, thank you very much. We'll talk to you next week. Ethan and Jordynne, thank you guys very much.
Thank you. Bye.
See you later.
And Josh, I guess I'll say thank you to you as well.
Q&A session is over. Goodbye.
This is the Wrestling Epicenter. For over 15 years, we've brought you the top names in professional wrestling for exclusive interviews. Everybody you see here has been interviewed by our site. But we're more than just interviews. So be sure and check out WrestlingEpicenter.com for news, results, information, and of course our store. WrestlingEpicenter.com, your #1 source for wrestling information.